Hey everybody, Jennifer here with the Family Fudge, and welcome to Subscriber Lunch Sunday. Now, last week I asked you guys to send in your best Christmas-themed lunch ideas, and you guys, I received over 400 submissions. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to make all of those lunches, but in today's video, I have 4 awesome holiday lunches I know you're going to love. All of these lunch ideas are super cute, but they're also really easy to make. So let's get started. First up, I have a lunch idea sent in by Jessica. Jessica is from Florida, and for her lunch today, my first step is going to be to make some mini Christmas tree pizzas. Now, originally I was going to use pizza dough for this, but I actually have quite a few of these ready-made pizza crusts in my pantry, and I definitely need to use them up. Plus, because this pizza dough is already cooked, it's going to make this lunch super quick and easy. So as you can see, I just used my Christmas tree sandwich cutter, and I was able to get 3 Christmas tree pizza crusts out of this one piece. So for these pizzas, the first thing I'm going to be adding is some good old pizza sauce. This little packet actually came with my ready-made crust, so I'm just going to squirt a little bit all over. Not too much because I don't want this to end up being a big mess. Next, I'm going to be adding the cheese, and instead of just using mozzarella, I'm actually using a combination of mozzarella and cheddar cheese. I think that's going to be extra tasty for these pizzas. Next, I'm adding some mini pepperoni. I really think the mini ones work so well for these pizzas, and they really do look like ornaments on the Christmas tree. Next, I'm going to be adding some peppers to this pizza. First, I'm going to take this red bell pepper. I went ahead and cut it into slices, and I'm going to place this on our pizza Christmas trees so that they resemble garland. Of course, you could also use a yellow bell pepper, or a green one would be really pretty. And then with my other bell pepper, I've used a little star-shaped cookie cutter to punch out a star shape to go on the top of the tree. Now, I wish I'd had a yellow pepper for this, but I didn't. So for today, this orange pepper will have to do. So I really just have to pop this into the oven long enough for all the toppings to melt. And check it out, you guys, these pizzas turned out so good. And of course, if you guys make these, you can add whatever pizza toppings you like. So now moving on to the fruit. For Jessica's lunch today, she requested some Santa hats. For this, I'm using some strawberries, some green grapes, a banana, some mini marshmallows, and I'm also using some toothpicks to keep them all together. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the tops off of my strawberries. These strawberries are nice and pointy, and that's really going to help make them look like Santa hats. Next, I'm going to slice up my banana. Oh yes, and to get the grapes to fit a little bit better, I am going to cut just a little bit of the top off of each one. So now to build these, I'm actually just taking a toothpick, and I'm going to add them with the grape first, followed by the banana slice, then comes the strawberry, then I'm going to top it all off with the mini marshmallow. And you guys, if your toothpicks are too short, all you have to do is use 2 toothpicks, one from either end, and these Santa hats will turn out just fine. I think these turned out so cute, and now that I think about it, I've also heard these be called Grinch hats because of the green grape on there. Kind of reminds me of the Grinch. For my next step, I'm going to add some cucumber slices, and to make these extra Christmassy, I cut a few of them into some fun shapes like gingerbread, candy cane, and stars. Now for Jessica's snack, she requested a string cheese, but instead of leaving it plain, I'm going to take a few Sharpie markers and I'm going to try my best to draw a little snowman shape on the outside of the package. This is so cute and easy to do, and it's definitely one of my favorite Christmas time lunch additions. For Jessica's sweet treat, she requested Ghirardelli peppermint bark, but instead of just getting the regular squares, I decided to get these snowman shaped ones. These ones are definitely super cute for Christmas. To complete Jessica's lunch, I'm going to be adding a Christmas time classic. That's right, I'm adding a bottle of eggnog. This is the T.G. Lee brand of eggnog, and it seems to be a really popular brand here in Florida. Now you guys, I would love to know in the comments down below if you have a favorite eggnog brand. Let me know what it is, because I would definitely like to give it a try. I've tried lots of different eggnogs. Some are really sweet, some are really thick, and I tend to be a fan of them all. I've even tried some soy eggnog, and I thought that was pretty good too. next up, I'm going to be making a lunch idea sent in by Saga. Saga is from Sweden, and she requested some traditional Swedish Christmas favorites. Now you guys, I love learning about and trying different Christmas foods from all over the world. In fact, last year I did an entire video where I actually made a lot of different international Christmas time foods, and if you'd like to check out that video, I will link it down below. It's seriously one of my all-time favorite lunch videos. But for Saga's lunch today, of course, I'm focusing on some Swedish treats. Now, she told me that on Christmas Eve in Sweden, they like to have a meal called a smorgasbord. And for her main course, Saga requested some Swedish meatballs. Now, personally, whenever I think of Swedish meatballs, I always think of the ones from IKEA, which my whole family happens to love. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and prepare today. So now that those meatballs are done, I'm just going to add them to our tray. So now that that's done, I'm going to move on to some fruit. Saga told me that fruit is not usually part of the traditional smorgasbord, but that mandarin oranges are actually a pretty classic Christmas fruit in Sweden, so that's what I'm adding into today's lunch. For my next step, I'm going to be putting together a very interesting salad. And this salad is going to include some beets. Now again, I would love to know how many of you guys are actually fans of beets or not. Let me know what you guys think. So now moving on to the snack. For Saga's lunch today, she requested some hard bread with some frost toast. Now I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly, but basically it's a Swedish type of cheese. I was able to find both of these things at IKEA, so I'm thinking they're pretty authentic. I am gonna go ahead and cut the cheese, however, into some really cute Christmas shapes. And I'll just place these shapes on top of the hard bread, which looks a lot like a cracker to me. For Saga's sweet treat, I'm going to be adding something called a Vinter Saga saffron roll. Now again, I was able to find these at IKEA, and these look really interesting. This looks like there might be some raisins in there, and I can't wait to give it a try. And then lastly, for Saga's drink, I have another Christmas classic from IKEA. Now this is a non-alcoholic drink, and I'm thinking this is probably a lot like a mulled cider drink. Now I haven't actually tasted this yet, but I did give it a good whiff, and it definitely smells like Christmas. There are lots of different spices in here, and it smells really good. This next lunch idea was sent in by Susan from Boston. And you guys, I'm super excited about this lunch because instead of sending in a Christmas themed lunch, Susan sent in a Hanukkah themed lunch. So the first thing I'm going to prepare is some latkes, which are Jewish potato pancakes. Now, of course, you can make these from scratch, but these lunches are all about being quick and easy. So when I was at the grocery store, I found two options. The first was a boxed mix, and the second were some already prepared frozen latkes. So that's definitely what I'm going with today. These look like they're going to be so tasty and definitely quick and easy to make. Now, to go along with the latkes, Susan also suggested some chicken nuggets, and I just happen to have this big bag of Mickey Mouse shaped chicken nuggets in my freezer. So now that the nuggets are done, I'm going to add those to a separate bowl. And on the other side of my plate, I'm going to be adding these really nice and crispy latkes. You guys, these smell so good. So for today's lunch, I'm going to go ahead and add a dollop of non-dairy sour cream, and I'm going to finish them off by adding a sprinkle of chives to the top. So now that those are finished, my next step is to prepare some fruit. And for Susan's lunch today, she requested something really interesting. To make these, I'm going to be using both fresh pineapple and strawberries. I'm going to take the fresh pineapple and I'm going to cut them into long, thin sticks. And the idea is to make these look like candlesticks. Next, I'm going to take a couple of strawberries. I just cut the tops off of these and then quartered them. And the idea is that the strawberries will resemble the flame on top of the candlestick. So to finish these off, I'm just taking a few little toothpicks. I'll stick one end inside the pineapple and the other into the strawberry. And that will help connect the two together. And check it out, you guys. These really do kind of look like candlesticks. So now that our candles are done, I'm going to move on to some vegetables. I'm going to go ahead and add in some carrot sticks to Susan's lunch. Now these aren't necessarily Hanukkah themed, but we're going to add them in anyway. And to go along with the carrots, I'm also adding in just a little bit of dairy-free ranch. Next, I'm going to be adding in two different kinds of sweet treats. first up, I'm going to be adding just one of these really interesting cookies. Now, these are called black and white cookies. I recently saw these cookies at the Hanukkah booth at Epcot, but we didn't get to try them. So when I saw these at Publix, I made sure to pick some up so that all the kids could try some. Then I'm also going to be adding in some gelt. These are little gold foil wrapped chocolate coins, and Susan told me that these coins are often used when playing dreidel. And then finally, to go along with Susan's lunch today, she requested water for her drink. Okay guys, now that brings us to Chelsea's lunch. Chelsea is from Pennsylvania, and for her lunch today, I'm going for sort of a cozy winter snowflake theme. For Chelsea's lunch today, I'm going to start by making some spatzel. I'm not really making spatzel, I'm just going to be heating up some spatzel. So if you've never had spatzel before, it's basically like a really condensed egg noodle. And spatzel is very popular in Germany. Now I actually found two different kinds of frozen spatzel at Aldi, and they both look really good, but for today's lunch, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the cheese ones. Check it out, you guys. These look really good and super cheesy. I'm just gonna go ahead and add these to a separate bowl and then get them onto the lunch tray. So now moving on to Chelsea's fruit, she shared with me a really cute idea using both green grapes and raspberries. So to make these, basically what you have to do is take a green grape, and it really works well to have kind of smaller grapes for this, because you're going to take it and stick it into the opening of the raspberry. So the idea is that the raspberry looks like a cozy winter hat on top of the grape. So like I said, this definitely works better if your grapes are on the smaller side, but these really do look like cute little hats. And then of course you don't have to do this next step, but since I have some food writer pens, I'm going to go ahead and draw some eyes and some smiles onto the grapes just to make them look extra cute. Oh yes, and if you try to use these food writers on a grape that's really kind of wet, it doesn't work out so well. So now that the fruit is done, I'm going to add in some celery and peanut butter to this lunch. But to make these extra cute for Christmas, I'm going to take these celery sticks and I'm going to fill them with peanut butter. This is kind of like making ants on a log, but I'm actually going to try to make these look like little reindeer instead. So for the reindeer's antlers, I'm just going to take a few pretzels. I'm going to break them in half and then stick them right in the peanut butter. Next, I'm going to take a couple of candy eye sprinkles and I'm going to stick those in the peanut butter as well. And then to make these look like Rudolph and not just any reindeer, I'm also going to add in one single red M&M onto each celery stick. Of course, you could also use a raspberry instead. For Chelsea's snack, she requested some Lance crackers in the sour cream and chive flavor. So I'm just going to go ahead and add these right into here. And then for her sweet treat, she requested some chocolate chip cookies. Now to make this lunch quick and easy, I'm just using some store-bought cookie dough, and my little helper and I are going to quickly get these in the oven. So now that our chocolate chip cookies are hot out of the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and let them cool down just a little bit, and then I'll add them onto our lunch tray. And then the last thing I'm adding into Chelsea's lunch is a little carton of almond milk. Because as you guys know, milk and cookies is a very popular combination at Christmas time, especially if your name is Santa Claus. So out of all the lunches I shared with you today, let me know in the comments down below which one is your favorite. Now don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and hit that red subscribe button if you're new. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.